The 10 most respected people in Korea.
안중근 독립운동가.
Enlightenment activist, soldier, independence activist, and peaceful Asianist active at the end of the Korean Empire. He was born on September 2, 1879 in Haejumuk, Hwangha-do, and died on March 26, 1910. Along with Yu Guan-soon, Kim Ji-yu, An Chong-ho, Lee Bong-chong, Yoon Bong-gil, and Yo Woon-hung, they are famous independence activists in Korea. Originally, it focused on national enlightenment projects such as education projects under the influence of Catholicism. But when the Japanese invasion expanded to a level that actually shook national sovereignty, it changed its course to anti-Japanese armed struggle and defected to Vladivostok, Russia, and organized a military. He served as a lieutenant general of the staff of the Korean Independence Army, and shot and killed Ito Hirobumi, the first Japanese prime minister and the first Korean commander. After being arrested, he left many titles in prison and wrote a preface to the Theory of Peace in the East, which discussed his thoughts, and the death penalty was executed and his life was ended.
반기문 전 유엔 사무총장.
Ban Ki-moon was the 33rd Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade of the Republic of Korea and the 8th Secretary-General of the United Nations. Chairman of the National Climate and Environment Council and Chairman of the IOC Ethics Committee. He is the only UN Secretary-General from Korea and is respected in Korea. He was inaugurated as the 8th Secretary-General for a 5-year term from 2007. And was unanimously reappointed in 2011, near the end of his tenure, eventually serving as Secretary-General until 2016.
김대중 전 대통령.
He is the first and only Honom-born president in constitutional history and the first Democratic Party-affiliated president elected through direct elections. Originally a young businessman who ran shipping companies and newspapers, he entered politics with the Democratic Party of Korea. He was an opposition politician who campaigned for democratization against the military regime from the 1960s to the 1980s. He had been unsuccessful in the presidential elections until the 7th presidential election in 1971, the 13th presidential election in 1987, and the 14th presidential election in 1992, but he was elected president after 4 attempts by defeating Lee Hoi Chong in the 15th presidential election in 1997. This was the first peaceful regime change in the history of the Republic of Korea. He was also 74 years old when he took office in 1998, the oldest president ever. In June 2000, he held the first inter-Korean summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-il by promoting the Sunshine Policy, a conciliatory measure against North Korea. In December of the same year, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in recognition of his contribution to democracy and human rights in Korea and East Asia, and his efforts for inter-Korean reconciliation and peace. After finishing his term in 2003, he died of multiple organ failure and dyspnea syndrome caused by pneumonia on August 18, 2009.
유관순 독립운동가.
In 1916, at the recommendation of Mrs. Sarah C., a missionary at the U.S. Women's Methodist Church, she entered the 3rd grade of Iwa Academy in Seoul. In 1919, when Yu Guan-soon was promoted to the 1st grade of Iwa School, the March 1st movement began. As a result, on March 10, 1919, the Japanese forced the closure of all schools across the country, and returned to her hometown of Cheonan with her cousin to participate in the Cheonan Anai Manse movement during the March 1st movement. During the independence movement, her parents were killed by the Japanese police, and she was also arrested and tried by the Japanese. After being imprisoned in Seodaemun prison for defaming the court, she called for the independence of Korea in prison. On September 28, 1920, Yu Guan soon eventually died in prison at the young age of 17 after suffering from after effects.
정주영 현대그룹 창업자.
He is a South Korean entrepreneur, founder and first chairman of Hyundai Group, and a leading first-generation entrepreneur in South Korea. He is also famous for his nickname Wang because his younger brothers and sons are both chairman and the richest man in Korea. He is remembered as a symbol of Korea's industrialization because he is in line with Korea's rapid economic growth and desperate poverty, overcoming his educational background of graduating from elementary school. He is one of the entrepreneurs who has become the largest company in Korea and has lived a life of integrity and frugality and is respected by many people. Even though he has become the richest person in Korea, he is also a pioneer in North Korea's business, which attracted tours to Mt. Jeomgung after leading a herd of cattle to North Korea in 1998. It was also included in Time magazine's 2006 list of Asian heroes.
김구 독립운동가.
He is regarded as a Korean independence merit, and a politician with one of the highest recognition and influence among independence activists during Japanese colonial era. In 1919, he directly participated in the establishment of the Provisional Government of the Republic of Korea. After liberation, he was an anti-communist but he did not give up on the theory of unification. While opposing the division of the two Koreas and the establishment of a single government in South Korea, and was assassinated by opposition forces at Seoul Gyeongyang in 1949. He is also called Baekbom Kim Ji-yu, as an expression to raise him. Many dramatic anecdotes such as, "I want to become a gatekeeper of an independent country, sweep the garden, and clean the windows, what I want the most is culture, not force," and, "I don't want my country to invade others' country because I know the pain of colonial rule."
박정희 전 대통령.
Park Chung-hee, the fifth President of the Republic of Korea, promoted the economic development of the Republic of Korea, and strengthened national security through 18 years of long-term power that began when he took the presidency in a military coup on May 16, 1961. However, there was also controversy over the negative aspects of his long-term power, dictatorial behavior due to his concentration of power, and human rights violations. On October 17, 1972, a new constitution known as Yushin was announced to deprive the people of their right to vote for the presidency, and later created the background of democratic movements that played a major role in realizing democracy in Korean history, including President Roh Moo-hyun and President Chun Doo-hwan. On October 26, 1979, President Park Chung-hee was assassinated in a military coup. His achievements and evaluations of them are still highly controversial.
노무현 전 대통령.
Roh Moo-hyun was the 16th President of the Republic of Korea, a former labor lawyer, and was elected to the National Assembly in 1988 and began his political career. He ran as a Democratic candidate in the 2002 presidential election, and the Roh Moo-hyun regime was launched, and was re-elected in the 2007 presidential election. The presidency promoted the improvement of inter-Korean relations and national reconstruction, and actively promoted North Korea policies through six-party talks and inter-Korean summits. In addition, he contributed to the development of the Korean economy by actively promoting the Green Growth Strategy, to prepare for changes in the industrial structure, and the development of the information and communication industry, which has been cited as a future growth engine.
세종대왕.
King Sejong was one of the four kings of the Joseon dynasty, the third son of King Taejong, the fourth king of Joseon, and the fourth grandson of King Taeo. He made efforts to develop culture and education by creating Hangul and led innovative reforms in various fields, such as science and technology, medicine, and agriculture. In particular, the creation of Hunminjeongeum contributed greatly to the publication of books and the expansion of education. And his rule is regarded as one of the taboo artifacts of Joseon. He is also famous for pursuing truth and placing importance on morality, leaving behind an important cultural heritage of the existing Joseon dynasty.
이순신 장군.
Admiral Yi Sun-shin was a military commander of the Joseon dynasty and developed Joseon's military power through strategic thinking and thorough training. He gained honor by defeating the Japanese army in the Battle of Myeongnyang, and also won large-scale military operations. He also suppressed the civil war and built trust to maintain Joseon security. Yi Sun-sin pursued technological innovation and the use of advanced weapons, and representatively developed a turtle ship to prevent Japanese attacks. Yi Sun-shin also made the right decision in political conflicts and contributed to the stability and prosperity of Joseon. His work plays an important role in Korea's history and military strategy, and his reputation and honor continue to be honored today.
This is the end of today's video. Thanks for your listening and don't forget to push like and subscribe.